Welcome to live stream number 2 of the Lancaster County Super Fair 4-H FFA Sheep Show. The previous live stream was not stable, so I've reconnected to a new live stream.
All right, everyone, welcome to the 2022 Lancaster County Sheep Show. We are starting it off with our unified showmanship. So entering the ring here in a moment will be some area showers with a buddy and a lamb. This program was started by Allison Walbrecht, and I will have her talk more about this program here in a little bit. But again, entering the ring right now is our unified sheep showmanship.
Hi everyone, this is Unified Showing. So we are a program dedicated to empowering youth with disabilities through learning about and showing livestock. So right now our youth are showing with the aid of a buddy, and we trimming. So throughout the summer we've worked for 8 weeks to perfect what we do. So our main goal is to create great people instead of great showmen. So the showmanship comes last, but as you can see, they worked their butts off. They've done so good. So they take part in everything. We're taking care of the lamb. They help feed, they help bathe, they help shear, they help walk, exercise, anything and everything you can think of they've been a part of. So they're gonna come in, they're gonna do 3 laps, stop and answer questions. And then, so thank you for coming out to support. It means a lot to me and these families.
Test. Yes, I can do that. Yep. We want to let you know that all of our 4-H and FFA livestock shows during our fair include a 4-H Clover Kids showmanship class for 4-H members ages 5 through 7 as of January 1st of this year. Participants must be enrolled in Lancaster County 4-H as a Clover Kid to participate. 4-H Clover Kids should talk to a 4-H or FFA member to find an animal to show and a helper aged 13 or older to help handle the animal during showmanship. Go ahead and check in here at the announcer's table if you want to be in our sheep Clover Kids showmanship that will be following the junior class of showmanship. Again, ages 5 through 7 must be a registered Lancaster County 4-H Clover Kid.
Let's give these guys a round of applause. They're all doing a fantastic job. as an educator by heart, this is just such an amazing program, and I think what they're doing for these children is absolutely fantastic. These guys are doing such a great job. You can tell that they've put a lot of hard work in throughout the summer, getting their lambs ready and getting ready to come out here for the county fair. I'm going to have to pull them over here kind of in the corner, and I have a few questions I'm going to ask them just to see what they know about their sheep. Again, just give them a quick round of applause as I kind of pull them over here and ask them those questions. All right, young man, can you tell me your name?
Sam.
Sam, what's your sheep's name?
Butter.
That's awesome. What's your favorite thing about him?
He likes the box.
Awesome. Give him a round of applause. Good job. All right. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Riley.
Awesome. What's your sheep's name?
My lamb's name is Buzz Lightyear.
Okay. And what's your favorite thing?
I like to play with my lamb's halter.
Awesome. Good job. Good job. All right. What's your name?
Patty.
Okay. And what's your sheep's name?
My sheep's name is Edward.
Edward. All right. And what's your favorite thing about Edward?
Buxton and McKinley.
Awesome. Give them a round of applause one more time as they exit the ring. Good job, you guys.
We'll go ahead and do a first call for senior sheep showmanship. First call, senior sheep showmanship. All right, let's give a round of applause for our unified sheep showmen. Entering the ring now is our second heat of the unified sheep showmanship. Again, this program was started by Allison Walbrecht, a Lancaster County 4-H Showman alumni. She's done this for a couple years, and it's been a highlight of the Lancaster County 4-H Super Fair, and you'll be seeing this for the goat show and a couple other programs throughout the fair. We'll go ahead and do a second call for senior sheep showmanship. Second call, senior sheep showmanship. We want to invite all of our showmen to our new Acres backdrops. These were sponsored by Acres, and all livestock, poultry, rabbit exhibitors are encouraged to take advantage of these at the Super Fair. One is located on the east end and one on the west end of this pavilion. Again, thank you to Acres for these beautiful backdrops that we'll be enjoying for several years here at the Lancaster County Super Fair.
All right, let's go ahead and give this group of showmen a round of applause as well. They're doing a fantastic job. Again, I just want to say hats off to these kids for doing this program. That's absolutely fantastic. And Allison, thank you for doing this. This is something that not every county gets to experience, and such a great program for these kids. So we'll just do the same thing. I'll kind of pull them over here and ask them those same 3 questions, and then we'll exit them out of the ring. But give these guys a round of applause one more time. This is fantastic. Can you tell me your name?
Charlie Henry Miller.
All right, and what's your sheep's name?
His name is Xander Hero Wilson Miller.
And what's your favorite thing about him?
My favorite thing is taking him on walks.
All right, good job. All right, what's your name?
My name is Daria.
Okay, and what's your sheep's name?
My sheep's name is Jumpy.
Jumpy. What's your favorite thing about him?
He jumps a lot.
All right, good job. All right, what's your name?
DJ.
Okay, and what's your sheep's name?
Billy.
Billy. And what's your favorite thing about Billy? What's your favorite thing about Billy? What's your favorite thing about Billy? What was it?
Yoshi.
All right, good job. All right, give these guys one more round of applause as they exit the ring.
All right, congratulations to all of our Unified Sheep Showmen for a great year of preparation and celebrating at the Lancaster County Super Fair. As we transition into our senior sheep showmanship class, I want to remind everybody of the chicken dinner fundraiser tomorrow night here at the Lancaster County 4-H Super Fair. It's from 5:30 to 7:30 on Friday evening, so tomorrow, at the exhibit hall near Pavilion 3. This dinner features slim chickens, chicken tenders. To-go containers will be available, and this is a fundraiser to support the Lancaster County 4-H youth programs, activities, and scholarships. Advanced sale tickets can be purchased at the 4-H Clover Cafe in the Lincoln Room for $8, and tickets will be available at the door for $10. Again, that's tomorrow evening from 5:30 to 7:30 at the exhibit hall near Pavilion 3 for some slim chicken dinner. Just a reminder, if we have any 4-H Clover kids registered in Lancaster County 4-H in the audience that want to try their hand at showing a lamb today, they can do that after our junior showmanship. They just need to find a 4-H'er 13 years or older with a lamb and get registered at the table. If you're in need of an early afternoon snack, go ahead and stop by the 4-H food stand or the Clover Cafe in the multi-purpose room in the Lincoln Room. All the sales from the food stand go to support our Lancaster County 4-H program, such as supporting for state and national contest registrations at State Horse Show, judging and hippology, horse stampede, companion animal challenge, pace contest, and the Nebraska State Fair contest. These proceeds also support activity scholarships and college and camp scholarships. Get anything from a walking taco to cotton candy and everything in between at the 4-H food stand in the multi-purpose room and the Lincoln Rooms. We're going to do a final call for senior sheep showmanship. Final call, senior sheep showmanship.
Okay, we are about ready to get started on our sheep show here. If you can kind of give me a minute. To all the sheep exhibitors, our arena is obviously a little different this year, which is awesome. It's great. The mulch is not completely flat out there, so pay attention to where you set up. And if you need to move the mulch a little bit to make it better for your lamb, do that. We've got a couple of lines here where she's going to set you that we've kind of compressed down, but pay attention to what you're doing out there. The other thing you're going to notice is we're going to go in and out the same gate here where I'm standing. So whenever you're lined up to go in for class, make sure you stay back a little bit because we're going to have to exit out of the same gate here. So we're excited. Everybody's excited. Everybody looks super excited. Can I hear a yay? Yay! Woo! All right, let's show lambs.
All right, entering the ring right now is our senior sheep showmanship. Our champion senior sheep showman will be in our elite showmanship contest. This will be on Sunday at 5 p.m. and the champion of each senior division of each species will be competing against each other for belt buckles this year. We ask that our champion senior sheep showman confirms with 4-H staff that you will be participating on Sunday at 5 p.m. We'll do a first call for intermediate sheep showmanship. First call, intermediate sheep showmanship. You'll notice our own Lancaster County 4-H staff, Vicki, is in the ring taking pictures. New this year, we're inviting you to share photos of youth and their animals to go.unl.edu/LAN4HPIC for possible use by 4-H staff. This website and a QR code are all over the front of your short programs and around the barn. The deadline for champion and reserve champion award photos for the Netline and the local newspapers is August 5th. So feel free to share those pictures with us on that website, which you can find the QR code on your program. We'll do a second call for intermediate sheep showmanship. Second call, intermediate sheep showmanship. You'll notice that our champion and reserve champions today in each class will be getting a red stall sign to display during the fair. Those will be turned back in at the end of the fair, but we want to congratulate all our 4-H and FFA members on their achievements and recognize them with these flashy stall signs, and make sure to thank the sponsors that are listed on each stall sign.
Give these senior showmen a round of applause. They're working really hard out here. These four over here are the ones that are in contention for Grand and Reserve, and I think they all do a really, really good job. Unfortunately, this young man's lamb just maybe isn't one to work for him quite as nicely as some of the ones that we have lined up over here, but he does a really good job of sticking with it. I went through and asked them what they would change about their lamb if they could, and I think that's really, really important for a sheep showman, just because you can hide a lot of things on sheep just by showing them, getting them braced, and getting them set up how you need to get them set up. So I think it's really important to know what needs to be changed on your lamb or what could be changed on your lamb, and they all did a really good job. I think there's a couple out here that maybe do a little bit better job of just staying relaxed, maybe being a little bit more efficient in the ring, and I really appreciate that about these showmen. They definitely could go and contend at a higher level than the county fair. So again, go ahead and give these guys a round of applause, and I'll go select your Grand and Reserve.
Congratulations to Ari Berkey for being our champion senior sheep showman. You will see him on Sunday at 5 p.m. for the Elite Showmanship Contest. Chase McIntyre is your reserve champion senior sheep showman. Entering the ring next is going to be our intermediate sheep showmanship class. In the ring right now is our intermediate sheep showmanship. We'll go ahead and do a first call for our junior sheep showmanship class. First call, junior sheep showmanship. We want to thank our 2022 4-H FFA Livestock Exhibitor T-shirt sponsors, Midwest Bank, Smart Chicken, Neogen, and Tractor Supply Company. As a part of the sponsorship, each 4-H and FFA Livestock Exhibitor is provided a T-shirt free of cost. Exhibitors are encouraged to sign the poster boards near the livestock office to thank these great sponsors before they leave on Sunday. Second call, junior sheep showmanship. Second call, junior sheep showmanship.
Announce it one more time, just in case no one heard me. This is your last call for showmanship. If you haven't done poultry showmanship, there's a nice young lady over on one end of the bar. You know, get the Nebraska shirt on with a very, very good service dog. Sitting behind the table and says poultry showmanship.
Give these guys a round of applause. They're working really hard out here and doing a really good job. I went through and kind of discussed some things that they could do better or maybe work on at home just to change their showmanship tactics just a little bit. And some of them, it's the lambs maybe not wanting to cooperate the best. These two young gentlemen over here will be your blues, and then these two young ladies are competing for Grand and Reserve right now. And I think they do a really good job and have a lot of intensity, and they sure hit you right when they walk in the ring, and certainly have a bright future ahead of them in the sheep show ring. And they just do a really good job, and they do a really great job of being aware of where their lambs set up and how they're set up and feet placement. And I think hats off to you girls, because you guys do a really good job. That's not to take away anything from these young gentlemen. Maybe just don't have the intensity as the young ladies do, but we went through and talked about some things that we can change with all of them. Again, give these guys a round of applause, and I'll go select your Grand and Reserve.
Do a final call for junior sheep showmanship. Final call, junior sheep showmanship. Congratulations to Lauren Johnson, our champion intermediate showman, and her sister Josie as her reserve champion. Entering the ring next is our junior sheep showmanship. Following that, we want to remind everyone that our Clover Kids showmanship is after the junior division. If we have any Clover kids that are registered in Lancaster County 4-H in the audience that want to try showing a lamb, they need to check in here at the announcer's table with a 4-H'er 13 years old or older to help them in the ring. All right, this is our junior showmanship class. Again, last reminder for Clover kids that want to show, need to come up to the announcer's table right away and get checked in. Following showmanship, we'll move into our breeding division. So we'll go ahead and do a first call for our Dorset Breeding Ewe Lamb class. First call, Dorset Breeding Ewe Lamb. We want to tell our audience that Lancaster County 4-H is super proud of our exhibitors for showing good sportsmanship, as always, when they're in the ring or out of the ring. This can be shown by staying humble and respectful of others and being supportive of others, whether they are showing or in the wash tracks or just saying hi and hello passing through the fairgrounds. This applies to everyone, so whether you're an exhibitor, family member, or a visitor at the fair, remember to display good sportsmanship and always make the best better. We'll go ahead and do a second call for our Dorset Breeding Ewe Lamb class. Second call, Dorset Breeding Ewe Lamb. We'll do a final call for our Dorset Breeding Ewe Lamb class. Final call, Dorset Breeding Ewe Lamb.
Give these two young ladies a round of applause. They're doing really good out here. Certainly not many in this division, but definitely two really good representatives of the junior division. I think these two ladies do a really good job of getting these sheep around the ring and getting them set up. I went through again and talked to them about some different things that they can do at home or some things that they need to work on in their ring. And I really appreciated when I came back out and around and looked at them. They were definitely kind of taking my advice and switching up and doing the things that I asked them to do. And again, they both do a really good job. I think there's maybe one that hit me a little bit harder when she walked in the ring, but I still think, again, any day of the week you could flip these two around and switch them around. So give these two ladies a really good round of applause as we end our showmanship division here. I just want to congratulate everyone that did showmanship. If you show livestock, showmanship's extremely important, right? If we're showing lambs that we're spending money on or even not spending money on, we still want to come in the ring and represent them the best that we can. And I think that's really what showmanship's all about, right? It doesn't matter if you're raising them. It doesn't matter if you're spending $10,000 on one. You definitely want to come in here and know what you're doing, get them set up and getting them looking as good as you can, right? We don't come to county fair to just come in the ring and mess around, right? We want to have some intensity. We want to get those lambs set up efficiently, and certainly want them looking the best that we possibly can. So again, give these ladies a round of applause and I'll show you how I like them.
Congratulations to Addison Lawrenson as our champion junior sheep showman and Olivia Jelinek as our reserve. That concludes our showmanship portion of the program. We're moving into our breeding portion and starting out with our Dorset breeding ewe lamb class. We'll go ahead and do a first call for our other breeds ewe lamb. First call, other breeds ewe lamb. And now that we have the one and only Roger Bell of Lancaster County 4-H in our presence, he would like me to remind you that the livestock judging contest is on Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock. So please pre-register and sign up sheet at the livestock office. Special awards are awarded to all our top winners. And if this is your first time, your 5th time, your 25th time, or many more than that, we want to encourage you to try it out and do your best and give your hand at some livestock judging. Again, that's Sunday from noon to 2 here in Pavilion 1. We'll do a second call for other breeds ewe lamb. Second call, other breeds ewe lamb. I'll make that a third and final call here pretty quick.
Nice way to start out the breeding ewe show here. I think this one's got a lot of balance and eye appeal, as you said here from the side. Maybe like to drive her down just a tick in her flank, but you have to appreciate her extra length and extension. She certainly comes with an extra shot of mass and power as well. A really nice breeding ewe for that young lady. Give her a round of applause.
Addison receives a purple today. And next in the ring will be our Other Breeds ewe lamb class. We'll go ahead and do a first call for our commercial breed ewe lambs. So first call, commercial breed ewe lamb class. As a reminder, 4-H exhibitors showing animals at the Nebraska State Fair coming up. Entries are due Wednesday, August 10th at 8 p.m. All entries are completed by families online. Please direct questions to 4-H staff as needed, but just a reminder, those entries are due August 10th at 8 p.m. by the family. Do a second call, commercial breed ewe lamb class. Second call, commercial breed ewe lamb class. Final call, commercial breed ewe lamb class. Final call, commercial breed ewe lamb class.
Nice entry for this young man. I think this ewe really bounces well from the side, and you appreciate the way she's built down her top line, and then you step in behind her. She's got that extra shot of mass and power. Maybe like to give her a little bit more foot and bone, but that's being pretty picky. I really like this ewe just from a balance and eye appeal standpoint. Certainly one that also has some extra rib shape and dimension as well. Give him a round of applause.
Congratulations to Michael Lockie for receiving a purple today. Next in the ring will be our commercial breed ewe lamb class. And then we'll invite back our champion and reserves for champion breeding ewe drive. If we have any golfers in the audience, we want to let you know about our Lancaster County 4-H Council Golf Tournament fundraiser on Sunday, October 2nd at Woodland Hills Golf Course with a 1 p.m. shotgun start. This tournament is a 4-person scramble and costs $75 per golfer or $300 per team. It includes 18 holes, cart and range balls, snacks and 1 meal, random flight prizes of $160 each, a beverage cart is available, and raffle prizes. For more information, call Lancaster County Extension at 402-441-7180. Again, this tournament is on October 2nd at Woodland Hills at 1 p.m. to support our local county 4-H program. This is our commercial breed ewe lamb class in the ring right now. We'll go ahead and just do a first call for our champion reserves from the previous classes for our champion breeding ewe drive following this class. As a reminder for all livestock exhibitors, animal release is no earlier than 7 p.m. on Sunday, July 31st. Again, animals and livestock will not be released any earlier than 7 p.m. on Sunday.
You get in front and behind of that ewe. She's definitely wide constructed. She's massive and powerful and has so much dimension. But for me, I'd maybe just like to make her fronted to compete with the one ahead of her. But that's still a really, really nice ewe lamb for that young lady. Give those two a round of applause. As we get down to these two over here, the young gentleman that's going to go third, I think you like that one from a bone and dimension standpoint. One that has some extra length and extension. She maybe just doesn't hook into her shoulder quite as nicely. In her top and round out of her pins, but still a nice project for that young gentleman. And the young lady who's going to round out the class, I think one that you also have to appreciate just from a functionality standpoint, but you'd maybe like to change her hind end there a little bit. She gets a little bit too much curvature to her hind leg there. Certainly one that I'd like to fix just from that aspect to make it a little bit more aesthetic, but again, another nice project for that young lady. Give these guys a round of applause.
Congratulations to Aaron Berkey as our champion commercial breed ewe lamb and Joseph Johnson as a reserve champion. They're going to remain in the ring for our champion breeding ewe drive. So we're inviting back our champion Dorset breeding ewe lamb and our other breeds ewe lamb. First call for our our natural market lamb class. We're moving into our market program following this. So first call, natural market lamb.
As we get into our grand drive here in the Breeding Ewe Show, give these guys a round of applause. Certainly not a ton of numbers in the Breeding Ewe Show, but I think there's definitely some quality throughout. There's one that's pretty clear winner in my eyes, just one that's pretty hard to build from a silhouette standpoint, and that's one that I really like when you study her from the side in terms of her structure and her build. And then I think it gets a little bit closer for reserve, and I think you could kind of flip-flop that depending on the judge and depending on the day. But again, give these guys a round of applause. I'll go select your grand and reserve Breeding Ewe.
Congratulations to Ari Berkey as your champion breeding ewe lamb. And congratulations to Josie Johnson as your reserve champion breeding ewe. That concludes our breeding program of the sheep show at the Sears County Fair. So we'll move into the market show. So we'll have the natural market lamb class enter the ring next. And then we'll go ahead and do a first call for market sheep lightweight class 1. First call, market sheep lightweight class 1. We want to say thank you to the Lancaster County Livestock boosters and everyone who sponsored new red stall signs for this year. A total of 71 were added for last year. These include champion reserve for showmanship classes in addition to others that were not previously represented. Thanks again for supporting Lancaster County 4-H and our youth. We'll go ahead and do a second call for market sheep lightweight class 1. Second call, lightweight class 1 for market sheep. Final call, market sheep lightweight class 1. Final call, market sheep lightweight class 1.
Good class as we start off in the market show. I'm going to leave them up how they're lined up here, and I'm going to use the young gentleman there in the front to go ahead and win the class. I think both these lambs are pretty comparable when we're studying muscle and freshness and some shape and definition. The only difference is I like the way that one's built just a little bit better. I think the darker weather there is just a nickel better in the way he hooks into his shoulder, and he's a little bit leveler down his top. And when we set him into motion, he's just a little bit more athletic in the way that he's built out of his hip and hind leg. One that's really good in terms of when you're studying him from the profile. Not to take anything away from the young gentleman who comes in second. I think when you get your hands on that one, he's really big over his rack. He's got plenty of shape and width down his top side. He just wants to get up in his top a little bit and duck in his pin set. And then he's maybe not as aesthetic in the way that he's built in his hind leg, but still two really good entries to start off the market show. Give these two gentlemen a round of applause.
Congratulations to Aaron Murky as our champion Market Sheep National and Michael Lockie as our reserve. Next to the ring, we'll be starting our lightweight classes for the market show. So first will be class 1. We'll go ahead and do a first call for Market Sheep Lightweight Class 2. First call, Market Sheep Lightweight Class 2. We want to congratulate our youth that are receiving banners and awards and want to remind them that there are thank you notes attached to those awards. So please make sure that you get those sent off to our generous sponsors to show them our appreciation so they continue to support our youth in years following. Our awards are not possible without these sponsors, so we definitely want to show our appreciation. We'll go ahead and do a second call for Market Sheep Lightweight Class 2. Second call, Market Sheep Lightweight Class 2.
Nice class here in the lightweight division. I'm going to use the young ladies lamb to go ahead and win the class. I think this one just has an extra shot of muscle and power, especially as you get your hands on her down her top line. She's built with a little bit more rib shape and dimension that allows her to lay a little bit more width and power up high. And then as you step in behind her, she's the wider pinned option of the two as well. Maybe like to shorten her up in her blade a little bit and drive her down in her flank, but it still has some extra muscle and extra shape, so she'll go ahead and win the class. The young gentleman's you who's going to come in second, you like that one for some length and extension, maybe just a little bit flatter ribbed and doesn't have as much mass and power up higher when you step in behind him. Still two really good ewes to start off the market division here.
Olivia Jelinek is your first place purple and Noah is second. Next to the ring will be our lightweight class 2 division for our market show. After that, we'll have the lightweight championship drive. So, Olivia and Noah, stay close as you'll be in the drive here shortly following our lightweight class 2. Just a reminder for all of our 4-H and FFA families that are taking pictures during the show today, we'd like you to share those pictures at go.unl.edu/LAN4HPIC for possible use by our 4-H staff. That website is posted on a QR code in your program and around the pavilion today. The deadline for those photos and for the local newspaper is August 5th. So if you have some great shots that you'd like to share and have published in other publications, make sure you get those posted to that website before August 5th.
next class of market lambs here. I'm going to use the young gentleman to go ahead and win this class. And I think when we're comparing those two there that are in contention there for first and second, I think that one's just a little bit better built, especially out of his front end. He's a little bit taller front. It hooks into his shoulder just a little bit better. And on top of that, he's thinner neck, which just adds to his eye appeal there through his front 1/3. And then when you get your hands on him, he's definitely the freshest one in the class, and you appreciate his shape and freshness up high, and then his extra shape and dimension as you step in behind him. Really nice market lamb for that young gentleman. The one that's going to come in second, you like the extra length and extension of that one in terms of that one's body. Maybe gets a little bit thicker about his neck and maybe doesn't have as much rib shape and dimension as the one that goes ahead and wins the class. But I still think a nice market lamb for that young lady. The one that's going to round out the class, I like the way that this one balances from the side, and that's not to take anything away from this lamb. Maybe just doesn't handle as fresh and as firm down the top side of his skeleton as the two ahead of him. Give these guys a round of applause.
All right, you'll be seeing Michael and Lauren here again for our champion lightweight drive, joined by our Class 1 purple ribbons. We'll go ahead and do a first call for our middleweight Class 1. First call, market sheep, middleweight Class 1. Again, this will be our lightweight championship drive in the ring right now.
We got 10 gigs of service. And like 55,000 people connecting at the same time. Is this where you're going to be? I was just thinking.
Second call, middleweight Class 1, market sheep. Second call, middleweight Class 1.
As we get these lambs back out here for our lightweight division, I think the two used from the first class, I think, are both really practical in their type and kind. Have enough muscle and shape, maybe just aren't as eye-appealing as the two weathers that are from the last class, but I still think two good projects for those two kids. The two weathers that come out of the last class, I think you obviously can see an extra shot of shape and power in those just being the heavier weight options. Certainly two that you like just in terms of having some extra freshness and shape up high and extra dimension as you step in behind them. With that being said, I'll go out and select your Grand Reserve lightweight division.
Congratulations, Michael Lockey, as your champion lightweight market sheep. And Lauren Johnson as your reserve champion. All right, we're going to move on to our middleweight section of our market program. So this will be your final call for Class 1 middleweights that will be entering the ring next. We'll go first call for middleweight Class 2. First call, middleweight market sheep Class 2. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Don't forget that our Lancaster County 4-H chicken dinner fundraiser is tomorrow night from 5:30 to 7:30 at Pavilion 3 at Exhibit Hall. This dinner is going to be featuring slim chickens, chicken tenders. To-go containers will be available, and all proceeds will be here to support Lancaster County 4-H youth programs, activities, and scholarships. Advanced sale tickets can be purchased at the 4-H Clover Cafe in the Lincoln Room for $8 a piece, or tickets are going to be sold at the door for $10. Reminder, that's tomorrow evening from 5:30 to 7:30 at Exhibit Hall. All right, this is your middleweight class 1 entering the ring right now. We'll do a second call for middleweight class 2. Second call, middleweight market sheet class 2. As a reminder, 4-H exhibitors planning to show animals at the Nebraska State Fair. Entries are due Wednesday, August 10th at 8 p.m. All entries are completed by the families online. If you have any questions, make sure to direct those to 4-H staff as needed. But again, that's August 10th when those are due at 8 p.m. by the families.
Okay. Here we got got a nice class of market lambs. I'm going to go ahead and use the young lady here in the front to win the class. I think when you're studying this one from the side, he's just the best in terms of his lower body balance. You like how he drives down into his flank. And then on top of that, he's pretty adequate when you get your hands on him. He's fresh over his rack and progresses wide out of his loin and out of his hip. It's certainly one that you appreciate from some shape and expression standpoint. Maybe like to change the build of his hind leg a little bit. He wants to get a little bit extra set to that hock, but I still think a really nice weather for that young lady. The young gentleman there in the middle is going to go ahead and be second. That one's really long bodied and he has some extra shape and power. Maybe just like to smooth him up about his shoulder and maybe change him just the way he's built up out of his front 1/3. But again, still one that has plenty of mass and power. The young gentleman who's going to round out the class, nothing to take away from this use. She's maybe just not as balanced from the side. Maybe again like to change the way that one's built about her hind leg, and then she gives up as you step in behind her as she wants to narrow to her pin set and flatten to the base of her leg. Still a really nice class of market lambs. Give these guys a round of applause.
All right, we'll see Addison and Ian again in our middleweight market sheep championship drive, but next in the ring will be our class 2 middleweight market sheep. Following that will be our middleweight market drive.
really good class here. It took a little bit longer. I think you could do a couple different things here. I'm going to go ahead and use the young ladies whether to win the class. I think this one's just the tallest fronted option, and he's really neat when she gets him set up, and certainly when he wants to get there and get drive, he's really good in terms of the way he transitions down his spine and then out of his hip. And then when set in motion, that one's really athletic too, and he's plenty fresh and has plenty of shape and dimension for me. One that I just really like from an eye appeal and balance standpoint. The young gentleman's whether that's going to come in second, that one's chock full of dimension and power. You get in front of him, he's super stout fronted, and then stepping behind him, he's really wide pin and full through the base of his leg, and you appreciate that about him. Maybe just like to make him a little bit taller fronted. He's maybe not wanting to cooperate as much for that young gentleman. I still think one from a market standpoint has so much muscle and shape and expression. Good place to go second there with him. And the young gentleman who's going to round out the class, I think that one has a lot of rib shape and dimension. Maybe just gets a little bit softer to the touch and isn't as fresh, especially over his loin there. Really good class in market. Let's give these guys a round of applause.
All right, Claire and Ian will stay in the ring and be joined by our first and second purples from middleweight class 1 for our middleweight market sheep championship drive. We'll go ahead and do a first call for our heavyweight class 1. First call, heavyweight market sheep class 1.
Give these kids a round of applause here in our middleweight division. I think they're all really good representatives of show sheep here, and I think all do a really good job feeding them, getting them worked at home, and we really have to appreciate the freshness and shape that these four bring to the class. I think there's maybe one out here that's just a little your county, and really I'll have to give these kids a round of applause just for how the quality that they're bringing. There's certainly not a ton of numbers here, but I still think the quality that's coming in and out of the ring is really good. So again, give these kids a round of applause, and I'll go show you your Grand and Reserve middleweight.
All right, second and final call for heavyweight class 1. Second and final call for heavyweight class 1 market sheep. Congratulations to Clara Johnson, your champion, middleweight market sheep. And congratulations to Ian Lorenzen as your reserve champion, middleweight market sheep. As they exit the ring, we'll have our heavyweight division start next with class 1. Just a reminder that Livestock will be released no earlier than 7 p.m. on Sunday, July 31st for the Lancaster County Super Fair. Again, Livestock will be released no earlier than 7 p.m. on Sunday. As we're passing out a lot of ribbons, banners, and backdrops, red signs, we want to remind everyone about the new backdrop banners that we have. We want to thank Acres for sponsoring our new photo backdrops. All livestock, poultry, and rabbit exhibitors are encouraged to take advantage of these during the Lancaster County Super Fair. One is located on the east end and one on the west end of the pavilion. This is your heavyweight class 1. We'll go ahead and do a first call for heavyweight class 2. First call, heavyweight market sheep class 2. Second call, heavyweight class 2. Second call, heavyweight class 2. Final call, heavyweight class 2. Final call, heavyweight class 2. You might notice that our exhibitors are wearing some pretty sharp red shirts with a barn on them this year. We want to thank our 2022 4-H FFA Livestock Exhibitor T-shirt sponsors, Midwest Bank, Smart Chicken, Neogen, and Tractor Supply Company. As a part of this sponsorship, each 4-H FFA Livestock exhibitor is provided this T-shirt free of cost. Exhibitors are encouraged to sign the poster boards near the livestock office to thank these great sponsors.
Good way to start off our heavyweight division here. I'm going to use the young gentleman towards the front there to win the class. I think this one just has a shot more dimension, especially through his rib shape. And then as you step in behind him, and then certainly the wider topped option, and one you really like in terms of the way that he balances from this side. The young gentleman who's going to come in second, not to take anything away from you, that's a really nice market lamb as well. I mean, I think we just like to see him drive down a little bit further into his flank and have just a shot more width and power up high to make it a little bit closer, but I still think a really nice pair of market lambs here to start off the heavyweight division.
Congrats to Chase for being our first purple and Michael Lockey as our second. You'll see them again in the champion heavyweight market drive. Next in the ring will be our heavyweight class 2 division. All right, so Chase and Michael stay close for our heavyweight market sheep drive after this class 2. Following our champion heavyweight market drive, we will have a market sheep overall championship drive. So we'll invite back the champion reserve from lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweights to come back for the overall champion and reserve market sheep for the Lancaster County Sheep Show for 2022.
Another good class of market lands here. I'm going to go ahead and use the gentleman there towards the front to go ahead and win. I think this one, in terms of body shape, is a little bit rounder about his rib, a little bit stouter and more powerful out of his pin set. And one that you like just in terms of his balance from the side, just a notch better than the one that comes in second. That's not to take anything away from the one that's coming in second. I think you really like the way that one handles over his rack, but he's maybe just a little bit shorter bodied and a little bit more coupled up and doesn't balance quite as nicely from the side as the other who wins the class. Give these two a round of applause.
All right, Tanner McIntyre is your first purple and Ian Lawrenson is your second. They're being joined by our first and second purples from heavyweight class 1 for your overall heavyweight market sheet. Following this, we'll have the that was the heavyweight market division in the ring right now. Following this, we'll have the overall market sheet championship drive where we invite back the champion reserve from lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight to find out overall champion reserve market sheet.
really good division here in our heavyweight division, and I'll be honest with you, it's between the two first place in both the classes, and I think those two are really good in terms of having that extra mass and power and a ton of shape and dimension, and you really appreciate that about them. And I think you could really flip-flop these either way. I mean, there's one that has a shot more length and extension, and there's one that has a shot more rib shape and dimension, and maybe is a little bit more aesthetic from the side, but I still think either way you go with here, you're probably not going to go too wrong, and honestly, a different judge, a different day, it could go either way. Again, give this division a round of applause, and I'll go ahead and show you how I like the heavyweight division.
Congratulations to Chase McIntyre as your champion heavyweight and Tanner as your reserve champion. They'll stay in the ring and be joined by our champion reserves from lightweight and middleweight for our overall championship market sheep drive. If you need a little afternoon pick-me-up, go ahead and stop by the Lancaster County 4-H food stand and the Lincoln Room and the Clover Cafe and multi-purpose rooms. These proceeds from the food stand support local 4-H program activities such as sponsoring our Lancaster County youth at state and national contests, such as the State Horse Judging Hippology, Horse Stampede, Companion Animal Challenge, Pace Contest, and the Nebraska State Fair Contest. These proceeds also support activity scholarships and college and camp scholarships. So go find a walking taco, cotton candy, and everything in between at the Clover Cafe to support our local Lancaster County 4-H youth. currently in the ring, we have our champion crossbred market lamb class. So after we find the champion reserve from this, we'll invite back our natural market lambs for the overall market lamb championship drive. So again, these are just our crossbreds right now, so we need our natural market lambs. So Ari Berkey and Michael Lockie, you can bring your lambs up to the ring. We will be good to go after this class.
Give these guys a round of applause for being out here for the crossbred division drive. A lot of good sheep out here, and I think there's a couple different ways that you can go. Certainly some different types and kinds, whether you want to go with one that's chock full of muscle and power, or if you want to go with one that has a little bit more extra look and design. Again, I think you could flip-flop those either way, and really it's anybody's opinion, and today it's mine. So I'll just go out, take one more look, and go ahead and select your champion and reserve crossbred division drive.
Congratulations to Clara Johnson from our middleweight division as your champion crossbred. And congratulations to Chase McIntyre from our heavyweight division as your, your reserve champion for crossbred drive. They'll be joined by our champion reserve natural market lambs for our overall market sheep championship drive. Following this, we'll move into our bred and owned portion of the program. So we'll go ahead and do a first call for bred and owned market lambs. First call, bred and owned market lambs. Just a reminder, if we have any golfers in the audience, you can support our Lancaster County 4-H youth by participating in the 4-H Council Golf Tournament Fundraiser on Sunday, October 2nd at the Woodland Hills Golf Course with a 1 p.m. shotgun start. This tournament is a 4-person scramble and costs $75 per golfer or $300 per team. It includes 18 holes, cart and range balls, snacks and one meal, random flight of prizes of $160 each. Beverage carts are available and raffle prizes. For more information, call Lancaster County Extension at 402-441-7180.
Give these guys one last round of applause here as we're in our champion drive for the Market Land Show. As we get these back in here, I think you can kind of see my typing kind. I like them to be pretty, long-necked, tall-fronted, and definitely really good design from the side. Are there our two champions super powerful and the heaviest muscled sheep that we've seen all day? Absolutely not, but I think those are really impeccable in terms of the way that they're built, and the ones that you'd really like to see in the show ring that catch your eye, really tall-fronted, that extra length and extension and show ring presence, and certainly have to appreciate that about those two. I think the 2 seconds there, I think, are both really good in terms of muscle shape and expression, and really appreciate that about those. And maybe there's one in here that's probably the most powerful and maybe didn't win the division, but I still think that one's really good in terms of shape and expression. Maybe just isn't as neat in terms of the way that that one's put together, but I still think really 4 really good market lambs to represent Lancaster County. Give these guys one more round of applause. I'll take another look and select your grand and reserve champion market lamb.
Go ahead and do a second and final call for our bred and owned market lamb class. Second and final call, bred and owned market lamb class. Congratulations to Ari Murphy as your overall champion market lamb. And Clara Johnson would be your reserve champion overall market lamb. We're moving into our bred and owned market lamb portion of our program. Just a reminder to all of our exhibitors receiving banners and awards today to please sign the big thank you notes by the Livestock office for our sponsors. The awards would not be possible for this year's fair without those sponsors, and we definitely want to show our appreciation for their generous support. Reminder, those are outside the doors of the Livestock office. Just a reminder that our livestock vision contest will be Sunday from noon to 2 p.m. and we ask that you please pre-register on the sign-up sheet outside the livestock office before that. Special awards will be awarded to all top winners. We'll have teams of 4 and an adult coach for each team. So if this is your first time, 5th time, 25th time, or anything in between or outside of that, we want you to try your hand at livestock judging. This is a great educational experience for all 4-H and FFA Lancaster County youth. Again, that's Sunday from noon to 2 p.m. And the ring right now is our bred and owned market lamb class. Following that, we'll be rounding out our show with the market sheep performance class. We'll go ahead and invite our market sheep performance lambs to the ring following our bred and owned market lamb class. So if Grant and Lauren want to bring your market sheep performance lambs up to the ring, we'll have you in after the current class right now. You don't need your sheep, just the individual exhibitor, never mind.
Class of bred and owned market sheep here. I'm going to go ahead and use the gentleman there towards the front to go ahead and win the class again. Like I talked in class, you like that one's extra dimension and shape, and he's just chock full of mass and power. So I think a pretty good place to start with him. And then the two gentlemen that come in second and third, I think, are pretty similar in terms of muscle and power, maybe just a little added length and dimension, and the one that comes in second compared to the one that comes in third. But you still appreciate that one for his extra width and dimension. It has some extra foot and bone underneath of him too. The young gentleman that's going to come in fourth, again, a long-bodied sheep, one that you like in terms of that regard. Maybe just gets a little bit flatter in terms of his rib shape, doesn't have as much shape and dimension as the three ahead of him. And the two that round out the class, I think, are good practical market lambs, just don't have the added look and design of the ones ahead of them. Go ahead and give this class a round of applause.
Congratulations to Chase McIntyre, our champion bred and owned market lamb, and Tanner as reserve champion. To round out our Lancaster County 2022 market lamb show, just our lamb show, our sheep show, we'll invite back Grant and Lauren in the ring for our market sheep performance ribbons.
And that concludes the sheep show. I spoke a little too soon.
Okay, we brought these two great kids out here because at the beginning of the show season, when you have your lambs, you can bring them in and check them in and weigh them. And when we weigh them in at the beginning of the year, and then we weigh them here, we can measure the rate of gain. So the rate of gain is how much they gained per day. These not only were the only kids who showed up, but they had awesome performance. So congratulations on rate of gain champion and reserve champion, Grant Johnson champion, Lauren West Reserve.
All right, congratulations to all of our sheep showmen and their lambs for the Lancaster County 2022 Sheep Show. We'll be taking a 15 to 20 minute break to get the arena ready for the goat show. So we'll see you back here in 15 to 20 minutes for the goat program of today.
All right, that does conclude the Lancaster County Super Fair 4-H FFA Sheep Show. Thank you for watching.